Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 2 a.m. podcast. We're joined today by legendary guest Blake Weeks.
Aha!
What's up, baby? To a previous guest, but that does not mean he's less than. He is a master of the streets, rocking it in the sheets. He is killing it every day. Episode 71, Blake Weeks. Thank you very much for joining us.
Welcome, dude.
We love having you, buddy.
So stoked.
Aha! Now, I must say that you know, to everyone watching, that you are the brother of Mr. Dalton Weeks himself.
None other than Mr. Dalton.
Mr. Big Dick Kicking Bobo Horse, whatever the fuck his stripper name is. Dalton Weeks.
Bobo Kicking Horse, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're in California. This is where you were born and raised, right?
Right, Riverside.
Yes, California for the next week, I believe.
Yep.
Welcome back, by the way.
Thank you.
And this
thank you.
is last minute.
Oh,
you hit
super.
me up, and I was like, let's do it. Let's make a
Oh, yeah,
podcast
no,
episode.
Yeah. Dude, love the energy, dog.
Right. No, I've been trying to get on since Dalton got on. Before Dalton got on.
I sense a little competition here.
Oh no, for sure. When you guys had him on a second time, I was pissed.
Oh,
No,
man.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Damn.
No, I'm kidding.
Almost a dagger to the heart there.
Yeah, no, but
He wants
no.
triple the numbers that Dalton got.
Oh
on
no, I'm
his-
trying to beat some records right now.
He's trying to beat some ass out here.
Right.
Damn, dude. This is the kind of energy we need.
It's the kind of energy you need to cross a country on a bike.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we talked about it with Dalton quite a bit. However, I'm sure you obviously have a different perspective from him in terms of how things went down, because not only were you riding across the country, you were also the cameraman in
For
a
sure.
sense. So
Yeah.
you walk us through a little bit of what it's like to photograph, take videos of, and try to commemorate in a sense, like riding across.
It was interesting.
country.
Yeah, no, there was a lot going on. Dalton definitely took point on doing the ride. Like a lot of the directions, all the planning was him. So I was
Mhm.
just holding on. Like I was just like, go crazy, and I'm just gonna tag along and be a part of this. And so it was a lot of just like, without question, undoubtedly just following through.
Yeah.
Just like, all right, whatever. Just like being along for the ride and just not asking questions, which coming from me, like I'm like a pre-planned person. I think he even mentioned that before, that I'm fighting it. Like a lot of this is just me going against the grain on what like I feel
Yeah.
like, and just like letting go.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of just like sitting back and just letting things happen, whether it be with like just any adversity that would come up, like just weather conditions, long days. Like it was just staying up with it, because he's a freak athlete
Mhm.
and I'm a surfer kid.
Yeah.
I'm not even an athlete. I didn't even make the varsity soccer team in high school. I wasn't even I just rock climbed and
Yeah.
surfed before. That was it. I was not anything near a cyclist before, so it was just like there was nothing to even train. We trained
Yeah.
in California, and I hit one point where I was realizing that it wasn't my body that I was training, it was my mind.
Mhm.
And I was like, you can't prepare. You guys
Yeah.
saw us on the first day. We
Yeah,
were
that's a big
trashed.
one.
Yeah.
We were destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like a really big day where I was like, this is just my mind that's gonna be worked on
Yeah.
during this.
Did you ever feel tortured?
Oh,
In
yeah.
a sense.
Of course.
Dude, the whole last
I know,
night-
it was
no,
all
but I asked
sugar
that.
and rainbows.
I asked
bro.
that because there are some Goggin individuals
Oh,
out there,
there
that
were-
are just like,
True.
no.
There were multiple times where I like cried out of like just pain
Yeah.
and just like suffering, which it was rough. No, I remember one of the first like proper desert days we were crossing, and we were just in this like basin, and you could see for like 70 miles, and you could literally see like this little dot, and we're like, that's the town, that's Amboy. And this wind was so bad that I fell on my bike. Like I was going to stop, and it was so heavy that I just like toppled over and I fell. And I laid behind like my bike bag just so I could stop hearing the wind. And I was like fetal position, just like crying. And then I got up and I just started riding.
My God.
And then other times, I will never forget Atoka, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Also, fuck Oklahoma.
Oh yeah.
As a whole.
we are well aware. of that.
Well aware. No, I remember at Atoka, Oklahoma, I was like riding and we were drenched. We were looking for a place to eat, and I remember being like, I genuinely can't breathe. I feel like I'm in an oven. Like
Yeah.
this is
Mhm.
so hot. And so much discomfort constantly. Just getting up.
Yeah, the
and-
majority of that trip
Yeah.
was fucking miserable.
Yeah, I can't comprehend that, dude. Remember we took the trip a couple weeks ago? Dude, we were in a car, right? And I was just like, a lot of people would complain about this.
I mentioned that
But
to
you
him,
know
too.
what? we can't even comprehend
I was
what
like,
the hell
Dalton
you guys
and
went
Blake
through.
fucking rode across on
Yeah.
bikes.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was weird to like the first day was just weird, and now like going on planes is a trip because
Yeah.
you feel like you're undoing like three. It's like
Literally.
This
Really?
is luxury.
no, seriously, people don't know how much just space there is. Like
No.
this country's huge,
It really
and
is.
to
enormous.
like physically get a grasp on how large this country is, it's a trip. I don't know, it's really weird.
It really
You
is.
should
It
ride a
really
bike
is.
across it.
Yeah, no, that you'll
Maybe.
get some scale.
Yeah.
For sure.
God damn it. It's like I kind of want to do that. I
Right?
kind of
No,
want to do
I
it.
couldn't recommend it more. Genuinely, like if you're questioning anything in your life, you will be in New York with an answer.
Mm.
You know what?
Mm.
We might have to do it, boys.
The thing that's
Dude,
crazy
can we
to
get a
me-
2 a.m. bike tour?
Dude, we'll slap
Honestly.
stickers in every state, dude.
Yeah. Except Oklahoma. Just skip Oklahoma. Just-
Oklahoma.
No, we won't put any there.
Oklahoma.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that trip is 98% no and 2% yes. And what I
Yeah.
mean by that is there's only 1% on each side of that 98%. That's okay. And that's like, all right, we're gonna leave. And then the rest is shitty. And
Yeah.
then you arrive and you're like, all right, we're here. Thank God it's over.
Right,
Yeah.
like the daily relief was getting to like wherever we were stopping or getting into a big city was always really nice. We took like I think 10 days off in Dallas and that was great.
Mm.
But those next 2 days back on post Dallas were rough.
I bet like a full sit down meal is like heaven, right?
Oh, insane.
Yeah.
I ate like at least 2,000 calories a day. No, I was little Blakey got a little ripped
Yeah.
like on the trip.
Ooh.
Like my legs, I had never had big legs before.
Mhm.
Like I had like shoulders and stuff from climbing and surfing, but never legs.
Yeah.
And Dalton, the soccer player, like he's
Yeah.
always had big legs, and
Yeah.
it was funny to see him look at me and be like, "Oh shit, he's got some gains."
Yeah.
And like he would get hyped,
Mm.
and it felt really good.
And you're seeing it on the road too.
Oh yeah, no, like
Yeah,
I'd pull up
definitely.
and like it was the first time I was like really, really confident
Yeah.
in my body. Actually, I felt really confident rock climbing, but it was the first time it was so like clear that
Mm-hmm.
what I was doing was having a huge effect on how I looked, like my
Yeah.
physical
Mm.
form. So it was really empowering.
It's one of the
That's
first times
sick.
he looked in the mirror and he's like, God damn.
I was
I'm
like, oh
hot.
shit, yeah, no, seriously, like I felt really good, and it was really satisfying.
Yeah.
I coming from like a non-athletic background, I'm like a very artistic person,
Yeah.
and it feels good to be confident.
Mm.
It really
in that
does.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I 100% feel you.
So to wrap up at least the trip part of the discussion, what would you say the biggest lesson of the whole thing was from your experience?
Great question.
No, that's the perfect question because I have such a good answer.
Oh.
No, this
The
is
man
funny.
is wise.
I love this question because it's so clear.
Yeah.
It's like there's one standout lesson, and it was the last day of the trip. We were riding. I think we were 3 days out of New York, and Dalton and I were talking. We were like, okay, we're like setting up, and I remember for that day we had a town that was 60 miles out that
Mhm.
we could have stopped at, and 80 miles out. And after that, it was like 2 more days of riding. And before we hit the 60-mile town, I was like, Dalton, like I'm gassed. I think we'd been riding for like 11 days straight, so I'm pooped. And I'm like, dude, I want to stop at the 60-mile town. He's like, fuck it, whatever. Like, we'll get there and we'll see how we're feeling. I was like, cool. And on the way there, he's like, I can always look at Dalton. I've known him for so long. I can see when the gears are moving up there and like
Mhm.
see when he's thinking about some like fucked up shit.
Yeah.
And I can see the gears turning, and I'm like, oh god, he's gonna try and like propose something to me because
Yeah.
he's done it all the time.
hmm
And he turns around, he's like, yo, dude, like if we hit back-to-back centuries, we could be in New York tomorrow, or something along those lines. And I was like, this sounds pretty nice. Like finishing this sounds pretty good. So I was like, okay, I might be down. Like I could hit a century right now. Like I'm
Mhm.
hyped. Like, so I'm like, yeah, dude, let's do it. We'll shoot for. There was a town past the 80-mile town. So
Yeah.
so before I wanted to stop at 60 miles, and we on the way to the 100-mile town, he does it again. The gears are turning. I'm like, oh god,
The Goggin
something-
This
gears.
son of a
the
bitch.
Goggin gears,
The
yeah,
Goggin
something
gears are
something along
turning.
those lines. And he turns around, he's like, dude, I will never forget. He's like, fuck staying at a hotel for 4 hours. I was like, oh, word? Like he just said it out of nowhere. I
Yeah.
didn't even know what he meant. Like he was thinking so much that like he thought I would understand. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I don't want to stay at a hotel if we're only going to sleep there for 4 hours and then ride another 100 miles.
Yeah.
I was like,
Fuck's the point.
Well, what are we going to do about it? And he's like, let's just not stop. And I was like, and literally
Yeah.
that reaction of it took, we were riding next to each other and we were like, oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'll do it. Like, I can't say no. I'm on for the ride, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. I'm like realizing that I'm about to go somewhere I've never been before.
Mm.
And I was like, let's do it. So we got into this, I think it was Jim Thorpe around. It was going to be nighttime. So it was a super cool town in Pennsylvania. And we just rode through the night, just all night. And you're in a little pain bubble because you can only see how far your flashlight goes. And you're just so away from it all. There's nothing to look at. There's no outside,
Yeah.
like anything. So we're just riding through the night. I end up getting a flat. I think I cried when I was changing the flat because I was so tired. We had been riding for like, I think that was 112 miles.
Holy
And our furthest ride was I think 113 of the whole trip.
God.
And we ride through the night. We get to New Jersey in the morning, and it is the most beautiful morning of the trip. We enter New Jersey. We get these dank bagels, and I remember it so clearly.
Yeah.
This is why I love traveling. And it's just this foggy morning in New Jersey, and it looks genuinely like Scotland. Just like the crazy. I have pictures of it, and I took these pictures of it on film. I don't know if I posted them, but it's my favorite photos I've ever taken, just because it was the most like conveyed of like that experience. It was just the most. It felt like all the pain and suffering of the trip was just like given back to me as like a gift. It was like, you get to experience this.
Yeah.
And it was
you
just this
settled
beautiful
on
morning
this
in New
imagery.
Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
that's
it
so
was
sick.
amazing. So we're riding. That was early New Jersey. We still had, I think, 75 miles. And we were riding, and by the time it stopped being morning and the fog left, that was when the real pain started. We were looking for, I think it was a gas station that we were looking for. And we stopped, and we were elevating our legs on this wall, so we're laying on our backs, and we fell asleep in the sun, and just like baking. And I like wake up. I'm like, Dalton, dude, we get up, dude. Like, we need a ride.
Yeah.
And we were just pooped. I remember we like couldn't think straight. Dalton wasn't even speaking in sentences anymore. We were just words.
Was that when Dalton called me?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say. So the sun was moving, so we were losing shade. So we went around to the back of the building, and we were like, "Do we need to call someone?" And I was like, "Who do we call?" And Dalton was like, "I'm gonna call Zaid." So we FaceTimed Zaid, and we just talked for a little bit, and that was all we needed. We had like a little dance party in the gas station. Like, these New Jersey people are looking at us like, who are these crazy people with bikes just dancing in the middle
Like
of
that
nowhere?
scene
Or
from
these
Hot Rod,
guys.
dude.
Oh no, like seriously. No, we were just jamming out. Like, we got hyped. And I think we rode, I think we were like, I want to say 60 miles out of New York.
Mhm.
Wow.
And then, or even Staten Island. I think we were 60 miles out of Staten Island, which also fuck Staten Island. It's like the Oklahoma of New York.
Really?
Oh yeah, it
Oh, the
sucks.
we need to
Oklahoma.
talk about that later.
So there's
Oh,
like
for
there's
sure.
the
I will
OG
stand on
Staten
that.
Island.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which is
Um,
Oklahoma itself.
Yeah.
And-
But at the end of that ride, we rode 216 miles, and we sat down at this. Actually, the funny thing is, I live right by where we stopped. Now,
oh shit.
our apartment is right 2 blocks from where we ended the ride.
Dang, dude.
And Dalton and I got a beer at this pizza spot, or like local pizza spot now, which is funny. And I remember thinking I wanted to stop that ride at 60 miles, and I rode 216 miles with a 100-pound bike. Like, not a lot of people do that
Yeah.
as cyclists, and I'm not even a cyclist. And that's when I really learned I'm gonna take that with me forever. Like, no one can
Yeah.
take that away from you.
That's such a small percentage.
Once you unlock that,
Mhm.
it just, everything looks so clear. And yeah, no, that was the biggest lesson by far.
It's the Goggins 40% rule.
Oh yeah, no,
It
that's
literally is.
so real.
Yeah. And it's just, you have to extend yourself to a point where you feel like you're going to break, or, you have no other option. You
Right.
either keep going, or
You keep going.
stop, and then you lose your own self-respect.
Where
Yeah.
your body literally breaks. That's
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's always gonna not. Like, your body is so much stronger than you think.
Seriously.
So even when you take it to the brink, you've still got so much more left in the tank.
That's the truth.
And I know that because at the end of that ride, I was like, I could take this further. Like, I'm so like, I'm a very streaky person.
Mhm.
Dalton will say that. Like, when I get really motivated, I'm crazy, like
Yeah.
writing stuff on the mirror, like shaving your head in the mirror type crazy.
God
where I'm
damn,
like-
yeah.
But I'll do that for a month and then I slow down. So it's like for me, it's a matter of like harnessing that.
Mhm.
But by the end of that trip, I was on a roll. Like I was like, I want to take this further.
Yeah.
And then it slowly like died down. But when I was at the peak, I was a machine.
The perfect way to go into New York.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, just super hungry.
Yeah.
And to take it from like a super like athletic perspective, like super physical with the bike trip, also very mental, to take it to a strictly like artistic place
Mhm.
where I see New York. Like when I look at New York, I look at it from a photographer's perspective. When I first got, I was taking street photos and I was just so passionate about being in the city and just seeing all of just all the stuff that's going on. It's crazy.
yeah.
And I stumbled onto a really special community of people through cycling. I met these people, bike messengers in the city, because I was watching on YouTube. I was just, during the trip, I would be in like rural America and I would just be looking for some sort of like entertaining bike content to hype me up. And I discovered Alley Cat races, which are races that bike messengers hold in the city, to kind of figure out who's the fastest messenger.
Which, by the way, are fucking insane.
Yeah,
because
no,
the,
have you
the
guys watched
risk
some videos?
to reward ratio is just.
Oh no, it's bragging rights.
It's
like,
gnarly.
And like and bags, like you get like a messenger bag if you win, or like some like free gear.
But also, I would love to do this.
Oh no, it's insane. So this was my surfing. Like I always have like these outlets of like usually physical things that I like express myself through, whether it was like
Yeah.
rock climbing or snowboarding or surfing. And in the city, riding a bike in traffic, it gives me that high.
It is
But
a
it's
rush.
because it's so similar to surfing. I mean, look at it, like you're just flowing.
I mean,
Yeah.
didn't they literally make a movie called Rush that was about bike riding in New York?
Yeah, I
being a
think so.
messenger
so.
Really?
in New York. Yeah. So
But the core messenger documentaries are where it's at.
you know what this reminds me of quite a bit? At
This
least
is
from like the
amazing.
only thing I can compare it to from my own experiences is like you know what limes are? Not the
Yeah.
acidic
The
fruit.
scooters?
Yeah, the scooters.
Yeah,
Yeah, when I was
almost
in
died
Paris,
on one.
when I was in Paris,
just bombing around on those.
just
things.
yeah, you didn't give a shit because it's not like, oh, what are they gonna do? I'm not gonna come back here
Yeah.
like
No,
anytime
line police.
soon. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so
Yeah.
you just are mobbing through traffic, doing
Yeah.
stupid illegal shit, but it's liberating.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Oh,
You feel
no,
more
this is-
free than here.
It's so much.
It's crazy.
Fun. It's-
No, and you'll see traffic. I see traffic and I get so excited. I see taxis and I see the lines and I like.
Yeah.
It's such a flow. They even call they call it a wave of green lights. It's
Mhm.
literally you're riding a wave.
yeah.
It's amazing. It's unlike nothing I've ever done. And the thing that makes it the best is the people, the community that surrounds bike messengers.
Yeah.
And it makes it so special.
Community is key word, man.
Yeah, no, and when as a photographer, when you find something like that and you realize that it's special, you
Mhm.
just latch onto it. And like
Mm.
I really look up to the work of Hunter S. Thompson, and something he does is called gonzo journalism,
Mhm.
where for example, he did it with the Hells Angels. He just immersed himself. He became basically a Hells Angel and wrote a book. And I love that perspective because it's so true. Like it's the most pure like type of journalism because he's literally one of them and he's
Yeah.
doing it from the outside or from the inside. So that was kind of how I took it. I took it in that direction. Totally immersed myself. I'm thinking about becoming a bike messenger soon, but I love that barista life too much.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
you're not some pencil pusher who's just speaking on an outside world. Like you're actually immersed in it,
Right. Yeah.
and you're living the culture.
Yeah. No, it's amazing.
That's
And-
beautiful.
And it's obvious by scrolling through your Instagram that you're deeply immersed.
Yeah.
Which is beautiful, by the way.
Oh, it's
And-
great.
Yeah, and we'll post the link up here.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, you're telling us
Rad.
some great stories about all the people in these pictures and whatnot, and it's just it seems like everybody has a crazy story to
Oh
tell.
no, it's super interesting. Whether it's like people that are moving all around the East Coast, or people that have been living in New York their whole lives, or anywhere. There people. One of my best friends is from Russia. She's from Sochi, and she literally moved here to become a bike messenger.
Wow.
It's like the pilgrimage. This is the best place to do it, and it's the most fun. It's the most like proper New York experience. It's like the real New York.
the real New York.
Oh yeah,
I've been
No,
trying to
it's-
go for years, dude.
it's so much fun.
I'm just trying to take some
You were going to go, but you ended up canceling, huh?
Well, yeah, but I'll
We'll
have
get
to
you
make a
out
new
there,
trip,
man.
dude.
We'll get you out there.
Yeah,
We
I need to
all
get
want to
there.
go as a,
But the
as a
thing is,
trio.
I was thinking about it. You know what? And I was like, you know what? I'm glad I didn't go with those people. I want to go.
Yeah,
alone.
no,
I
you
want
want to
to
go with a real group.
No, I want to go alone, dude.
Yeah, that's, even
that's
better.
Saeed's mentality.
Even better.
I like to meet people.
Right.
I like to meet people, have them show me around, do my own thing, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just an open book. I have no bedtime.
I have
No wake-up time.
No bedtime.
I just
here.
want to like,
I just want to be a nomad.
Just wants to
Just
be
all I want to do.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
yeah.
Yo,
But I-
Dalton. I think Dalton used to serve Jake Gyllenhaal coffee.
He did. Yeah,
he
he
was
was.
a regular, or Jake Gyllenhaal's like
Yeah.
sister or something.
Yeah, and
Something
he
wild
used
like
to be
that.
with her, and then he was like a little quiet, but she was talkative.
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like
he
that.
was telling us.
Oh,
I
he
think
did.
the first
he
episode.
did.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
I was telling him I was obsessed with him and shit. This guy.
So what is it like to go from being in, I guess, Orange County, Riverside, and then just up and moving to one of the biggest cities, or if not the biggest city in the country,
The
right? Because it's, like you said, there's people that have lived there their entire life,
mhm.
and I imagine they don't really go on that many vacations. I'm just guessing, right?
No, you're spot on.
And it seems like there's so much shit to do on every single block, every
Mhm.
corner. It's always changing, something's adapting. So in a sense, it's like a constant stream of what would you even call
Information.
Yeah,
I
no,
guess.
it's
information?
constantly updating.
What's the feel good chemical I'm thinking of? Dopamine.
Dopamine. Yeah.
Just constant change. So it's almost like there's never a need to leave. And like, do you feel that when you're in the city?
Yeah, no, you're spot on when it's like the city is always changing. Like I've gone into old neighborhoods where I first started living at when I first got here, and it looked completely different. But as for like going from the change from Southern California to there, it was really interesting because I had such a weird in between. Like getting there was such an experience that like I forgot life here,
Yeah.
and I just completely refreshed as a person. Like I had no belongings.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
just went full like there was nothing in between Southern California and here. Like it wasn't just like a 5-hour plane ride, and I was like, boom, okay,
Yeah,
I'm in
it
New
was
York.
a couple
Like,
months.
It was a couple months of deep like inward looking,
Yeah.
like just so much self thought, and
That-
just like you're
Mhm.
constantly in your
That's
head.
the longest form of meditation I've
So
ever
it's,
heard
it's
of. dude.
almost like
Literally.
oh yeah, no, seriously. So the change wasn't very difficult because I wasn't used to this at
Mhm.
all. But yeah, no, it was a super mellow, easy change. I just like picked up right where I left off.
Yeah.
And was just instantly inspired.
What I find amazing is if you've completed like, you know, a little bit of self-development or oneness or whatever you want to call it. It's kind of like being present, right? Being present in New York has to be a whole other dreamscape of a fucking
It's
Mindfuck.
difficult.
I can't imagine.
like
I
like
love
like
that
he
photo.
said, every
That's
corner
really
has to have something popping off 24/7.
Oh, yeah.
Something wrong. Like imagine being present at like just unique moments. It has to be a whole different experience than being present in California.
I feel like you have to have
For
your
sure.
head on a swivel. Like you have
Oh,
to be
yeah.
looking everywhere.
It's honestly nice. It gives you so much more common sense.
Yeah.
Like being
That's what we believe in at
That's
the
what we-
stew.
that's what we're
dude.
about, bro.
Dude, people in California do some out of pocket shit. That's the most like
Thank
New
you.
York statement I can say. Like
Like
they-
what? Can you give us an example?
on the way. Okay, I'm about to roast my mom a little bit.
Oh.
So on the way from the airport to our house,
Mhm.
we were in an intersection with our car, and the person in the left turn lane, we were in the straight lane. They didn't start going when they had a green light, and my mom honked at them, and I was shook. I was
Yeah.
like, why did you just do that?
Yeah.
And then it like dawned on me that if I was to do something similar to that in New York, there's a 50-50 chance that person's getting out of the car and fighting me. like
Yeah.
shit.
like it's just like that.
Yeah.
And it's honestly like kind of liberating where you're just like you have so much more common sense and
Yeah.
you just mind your business and you do your thing. But I love it.
We've literally talked about common sense. I don't know
Yeah.
how many times.
Common sense is gonna be our what the hell? All right, a little fun for y'all.
Great job, site. No,
Fuck it, we'll take the L on that.
I'll take the L on that. Oh well.
Anyways,
Sorry, Blake.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Well, always new things happening here at the stew.
New
Like New
changes.
York, always
Yeah,
change.
always changing.
Perfect example.
I was trying to think of some shit. Like, oh, for example, in Boston,
Mhm.
or you say California, people do crazy shit, and they do all the time. I mean, I probably almost got hit 2 or 3 times just coming here.
Right.
Right. In Boston, though, and I'm wondering if it's like New York. people in Boston just don't give a fuck about the rules when it
Yeah,
comes to
there are
driving.
no
Is that
rules.
the same in New
Oh
York?
yeah. And as a
it's like
cyclist,
free-for-all?
I know what they're gonna do before they even do it. Like I can see them about to make an illegal turn. Like I know they're gonna do it.
It's pattern recognition.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
that. And the funny thing is it was super binary when I understood that I figured out the patterns.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was riding around and I was hitting lights and I was going through and swerving at like the right moments, looking at the right place. There's a rhythm
Yeah.
to the city as a cyclist, and it's really powerful once you kind of unlock it.
I just got faith in the youth again. That made me.
That's when you catch
I'm-
that wave.
I'm borderline
man.
emotional
you
right now.
you can catch that wave for 50 blocks, man.
Oh, I bet the
Second
flow
Avenue?
states. Oh my
Oh,
god.
the flow state, you're hyper fixated. Hyper
You
fixated.
can't not be
You
in the
can't.
zone in something like that.
And the times I've gotten hit 3 times in New York, and you snap out of it.
You've
and
gotten hit?
Boom. Yeah,
like hard hits.
yeah. I
is
took
getting-
one hard hit. The rest were like I would call the other 2 like falls, but like
Yeah.
I got pretty mangled one time.
Shit.
Damn.
What happened?
I was skitching. I was holding onto a car. That's what messengers call it. I was holding onto a door handle of a car, going up 6th Avenue, just a ride. It was just a normal ride by myself. It was like the car handle was there. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hitch a ride. I don't feel like pedaling. And it was raining out, which I had now learned that isn't the smartest thing to do. But I was like a rookie cyclist.
Yeah. Having some fun.
So I hang on, and the cyclist, I was on the right side of the car, and I see the driver, I mean, look at me through the rear view, and he just sees me, and we make eye contact, and the fucker speeds up.
It always happens
He
like that.
Speeds up, and like I went to let go, and it was wet, so like when things like are super slippery and then they grip.
Yeah.
My fingertips were on the edge of the door handle, and it just gripped up, and it just launched me over my handlebars, and I flung. The problem was when he got up to speed, like my exit velocity off the car was like 35, and it was super
shit.
slippery. So I slid next to the car. The car like wheel was like right next to my head for like I'd say 5 feet, and I was just sliding right next to the car, and it just kept riding. The car didn't stop, and that's also a thing too. Cars don't stop when they hit you here or there.
Yeah.
Good lord.
And it was a good it was humbling, because I always fall or take really bad crashes when I need them the most, because you need to be doing like all those crazy things and like running red lights super fast. Like you need to be humbled, because if you don't and you start to ride recklessly, it'll catch up to you really quick.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And people die doing messenger work all the time, and it's really sad because everything's so close.
Mm-hmm.
It's really sad.
I'm so sorry for interrupting
you're
you.
good.
I was just gonna ask, like, how many people get injured, like, doing stuff like this? Because obviously it's dangerous as shit.
It has to be
Right.
common.
Yeah, right.
It's not as common as you'd think, because these people take it so seriously. This is their life.
Yeah.
Literally, they don't
Mm.
eat if they don't do a certain amount of
Yeah.
drops in a day.
They want to perfect it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, and it's their craft,
Mhm.
and they take it so seriously,
I respect that.
and it's very rare, especially in alley cat races, because they're doing it for a reason, and
Mhm.
they're very serious about it. Yeah, it's almost like the people that do it just for sport, I feel like get messed up a lot more.
Yeah. What's I'm curious, what's the craziest shit you've seen in New York so far?
man.
Oh god, that's a good
Um,
question.
I
need to
love-
know.
Oh yeah, no, I love Tompkins Square Park. This park is amazing. It's magical. It's where all the young people go in New York. It's in the East Village,
Mhm.
and I've always told people every time I go to Tompkins after I'd say like 12, I see some fucked up shit. I see some crazy
I feel like
shit.
if you go to any park after 12 in New York, you're gonna see some crazy shit.
Oh, Tompkins especially. But it's like a New York bike
Is-
messenger staple.
Is this
see if
one
you
of
can
the
find a-
sorry to interrupt, is this one of like the mini forests that you were talking about?
No, this is a very, very small park.
Okay.
But it's smack dab in the middle of like the very hip part of town. I saw a bike messenger throw a full beer can at a person's head and explode
Jesus.
on them after they sucker punched the bike messenger.
What the hell?
Oh.
It was crazy. Yeah, no, a full fight broke out, and
What the fuck?
the knives were pulled. someone tried to there was a homeless person and they tried to get a stick and sharpen the stick.
What the
And we were all
hell,
just
dude?
standing there like,
With
what
a
is
knife?
going on? Yeah, no, he was making like
With a knife. dude.
what other
Like, just
stuff
use
was
a
I
knife.
seeing?
Back to prehistoric times,
yeah,
I
no,
see.
like he was like crafting up something. But what other? I'm trying to
Stay
think.
right there.
Pulls out a gun, starts shooting the tip of the stick.
I'm really digging deep. Some crazy thing I've seen
Oh
in New
my
York.
god.
There's just so much. It's you get unfazed by it.
Because
Honestly,
you don't realize what is crazy shit once you settle down for a minute because
Oh,
you've
yeah.
been in it. You've been
Yeah,
in
you're
it
just like,
for
oh,
so long.
it's normal.
yeah,
Just go about your
And
day.
there has to be some crazy art too.
so much.
So much.
Yeah, it's really wild. The artists there are just, it's everything is there. It's so diverse because it's just a matter of having so many people there that if you want to find any type of art, you can. You just have to go
Damn.
to a certain place.
Dude, I need to
find it.
go, man. I need to go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
bad.
nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll
I
have you
wanna
go
go
by
as
yourself.
well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go my bed.
Think about your life. Go by yourself.
Yeah, no. Ride the bike there, man.
Yeah, fuck it, dude.
If you're riding the bike, I'll go with you on that.
You sure?
Once
right. No, I'm just
once
kidding.
this school shit's over and I get a little bit of a break.
All
yeah,
right,
let's
all
do
right.
it. I'm down.
A little bit of a
I'll hold
break.
you guys to that.
No, I'm actually down, low key. Like
yeah.
It's the
after
best.
the old master's program, if that works out,
I-
I'm down.
I genuinely think it's one of the best ways to travel.
Yeah.
There's pros and cons with everything, whether it's like traveling by car or like backpacking and cycling. There's gonna be pros and cons with everything, but I think it has a lot of positives
Yeah.
for sure.
I gotta ask you something because you live in New York and you're one of the few people I get to talk to where
As
I
a-
can ask them such a bizarre question.
I think the most interesting thing is going to New York as a kid, because like going to New York as an adult, you're going there with the expectation to figure things out and like settle down. As a kid, I'm just like I'm just stoked to be there and just like
Mm.
super bright eyed, which is like a really fun perspective on it.
Damn.
Damn. To be young in New York.
Right.
That's a
Yeah.
really good
Hit
one.
me though.
But I've been hearing some things
What's up?
about rats. I'm not talking about people that go to the police if they're
Oh.
doing illegal shit. I mean, I've heard since COVID broke out, and I know you haven't been in New York since COVID broke out, but
Mm-hmm.
a couple months after, the rats started to become incredibly aggressive because there wasn't as many people dropping like food in the
Really?
street. And then like the amount of waste was actually going around citywide because they're trying to conserve shit. So there's stories of these rats just straight up attacking people with food in their hand.
Oh
I've
shit.
never had to
Have you
square
not
off
seen
with a
that?
rat. No, I've never squared up with a rat. Honestly, I,
mean,
would.
Yeah.
You went
I
toe to
would.
toe?
No, seriously. I had this one time. So I live in this really like janky building, like proper New York experience, like paying $350 a month to live in Manhattan. It's like it's a shoebox. And
What's the address? We'll pull it up. No, I'm kidding.
seriously, that's actually hilarious.
You might
Let's
not
do
want
it.
to say that on the show. Though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, might not.
That's
Yeah.
we'll
It's
have
not
to
the
bleep that
move.
out. That's hilarious. But it's a super bad building, and I was locking my bicycle up in the stairwell, and
Mhm.
they got mad at me and they made me lock it in the trash room, which is not a good idea.
God.
And I locked it in the trash room, and I was trying to get to my bike one time, and it was night, and I opened up the door, and there was like 6 rats on my bike, and one of them was on the bike saddle, and it jumped at me. It like
Oh,
full
God,
on
yeah.
like full air
Yeah.
time like jumped at me, and I just shut the door, and I was like, I'm not riding my bike tonight, and I walked
Yeah.
to where I was going. I was like,
The
not-
Michael Jordan of
Yeah.
rats.
You literally like slammed dunked
Just see him
at
from
me.
over the top. I'm like,
No, seriously. Yeah, no, and we can hear them at night. If you keep my window open at night, you can hear the rats at night.
I don't know if I would trust my window open, but
They if they're gonna get up there, they're good climbers. If they want to get up there, I'd let them because they earned it at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
We're, on the
Damn.
second- we're
the
safe.
trick is they don't go on the outside of the building, or else I think that'd be all
Yeah,
over
that'd be
YouTube
sketchy.
and shit. Just seeing rats like
free soloing.
Spider-Man their way up the building.
Let's be real. They're probably already in there.
No, they
Oh,
go
for
they go
sure.
through the
Yeah.
interior of it. They're all
Yeah.
in the fucking pipes. They're all in the wiring.
Mm.
Like the New York infrastructure, I imagine is a nightmare when it
It's
comes to
heaven.
rats.
It's heaven for
Yeah.
rats.
No, it's perfect. I think it's kind of comedic just because every time I see one, I think of Ratatouille, and I'm just like, yo, start cooking.
Start cooking.
And I just
Find
think
your
it's,
boy
I just
Luigi.
yeah, no, I just think it's hilarious. So it doesn't really get under my skin too much.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's
just
super
So
interesting.
so I have three quick fire questions for
Okay,
you.
rad.
fire.
What do you love most about New York?
The people.
What do you hate most about New York?
Whew.
Bagel diversity. No, I'm kidding.
Honestly-
you don't like diversity.
I realized this when I came back home. I stayed in a 35-mile radius
Uh-huh.
for 4 months, and it went by like that. A week.
Mm.
It felt like nothing.
Yeah.
And I literally, I'm planning my next year, and I'm like, do I want to stay in New York for the winter? And it's just going by so quick that like I realized once I stay throughout the winter, I'm almost gonna be 20, and like that came at me so quick. Like just time flies there so quick,
I bet.
and yeah, no, it just felt like it just flies by, and it's a really good thing, and it's also kind of it gets in the way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I feel like just not leaving, you get such a tunnel view, and like you just get in this bubble of just like New York, and you can only, if you forget about the outside world.
So basically, the speed of the city makes you take time for granted.
Yeah, no, it just puts a really skewed perspective at times.
So depending on the person, this could be very overwhelming of a city.
Oh,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Like I was gonna say, for somebody like me, I probably
I know right where that is. Yeah.
It's Tompkin, right?
And then last question.
Okay.
How good is the pizza there?
Freaking dank, bro.
Damn it!
I need
Alright,
some
that's it,
New
dude.
York pizza.
We're flying out
man.
next week. God
So
damn.
good. Yeah. I will stand by that. LA tacos are better. It's just like 2 a.m. drunk food.
Guisados.
No, it
2
hits way
a.m.
differently, but like it's valid.
2 a.m. drunk food. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no.
Although
it's-
I will say, like, you can get a slice of pizza in New York, from what I hear, for like $1, $1.50.
that's the grody stuff though.
Is it though?
Yeah.
I've heard there's some places where you can get good shit for like $1.
like Two Bros is in New Tompkins, and that's like the best dollar slice, but it's still like you're gonna feel it in
Oh,
like
really?
30
Mm.
minutes. You're gonna not be feeling so hot.
3 minutes.
No, like 30 minutes.
Oh.
You get that like almost like a cramp.
Oh, it's gonna
Oh,
hit you like a
damn.
brick.
Oh no,
This
yeah,
is-
seriously.
Not ideal for a bicyclist.
Right.
I wanted to get dropped right in the middle of the.
That's the Hare Krishna tree.
really.
There's a whole religion based off of that tree in the center there. And no, it's wild.
Wait, what?
Oh,
Yeah,
are they
no,
at the
seriously.
airport? Are those the people at the airport
Yeah. Oh my god.
that hand out pamphlets?
I got a pamphlet handed to me at LAX when I was flying in.
Holy
It was
shit.
so wild. A guy literally tried to like induct me into his cult.
Are you just talking about a branch of Hinduism or Buddhism?
No,
Or
it was
is
a
literally
group of
that
people.
Tree.
No, it was that tree. That
Usually-
that tree. John, I heard this. This could be totally fake, but I heard John Lennon used to go there in like the '60s and pray to it.
The
that
funny thing is that
tree.
usually the Hare Krishna people are white.
Yeah.
So like they're the most whitewashed individuals possible.
Oh yeah,
No, it's a thing.
it's a thing.
Wow.
This elegant,
Th-
or
so-
this American elm.
Ugh.
Yeah, no, it's a real thing.
Oh yeah, it was the birthplace of a new religion. in
Yeah, no, they
Manhattan,
just went.
New
They literally
York.
they
Wow.
literally just went to New York. I was like, all right, pick that tree. Like, word.
Wow. That's so random.
What in the hell
The
is going on?
So the overwhelming ecstasy of the chant or mantra that the Hare Krishna group uses has now replaced in the modern day LSD and other drugs for many
Wow.
of the Swami followers.
Word. I can get behind that.
Wow.
I mean, you were practicing Hare Krishna essentially for the entire bike ride, just chants
Yeah.
and mantra.
I
in
just
your
didn't even
head.
know it.
Yeah, right, dude. That is your spiritual hub. Is
Yeah.
this American elm
we'll
in
Yeah.
New York.
The funny thing was the last bike race I was a part of and photographing. It ended at Tompkins, but the paper where the people that were racing, like all the checkpoints, it just said the Hare Krishna tree. It didn't say anything about an address or Tompkins Square Park.
Hmm.
So you had to know that the Hare Krishna tree was at Tompkins to know where the bike race ended.
yeah.
And it was just kind of funny that I knew it right off the top of my head. I was like, oh, that's in Tompkins. And like,
Oh
it
wow.
was super
Yeah.
funny that I knew that randomly.
It's devotees typically wear saffron robes,
Yeah,
favor
I'm-
celibacy, and practice vegetarianism.
Sorry, I'm sticking on.
Sounds
this.
about right.
I'm so shocked.
I'm sorry, I'm sticking on this Hare Krishna, but this is the most wild shit I've heard in a
Oh
long
no,
time.
it's crazy.
A religion that was formed around a tree, and now the Hare Krishna is a member of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So it is Hindu based.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
a group of people came to New York and started vibing with that tree.
It's all white people.
Really?
It literally is all white people. It's like one brown person
You-
in the midst of all of them.
No disrespect to the Hare Krishna group or the Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, we're gonna have
collective,
some like
funny.
Hare Krishna
Bro,
assassins
they're
on
probably
us.
the most in tune, dude.
Do you think that back in the day, since they were doing LSD and other drugs, according to the website, that like the OG members look at us nowadays and they're like, chants and mantras? Freaking pussy.
Pussy. Yeah.
I don't know. That's some crazy shit.
Oh
though.
no, it's wild.
Could you imagine just doing heavy drugs in a park in the middle of
Yeah.
no, thank you.
It's
no,
not-
thank you.
I can't condone
Those
that
dudes-
type of behavior.
Those dudes dropped acid and were like, all right, huddle up around this tree.
Yeah. and
Everybody
it's-
hold hands.
Seriously.
So, what are do you have any plans in terms of New York specifically?
Yeah. Right now I'm working on doing a little gallery actually, which is
Oh, shit.
so exciting. That was one of the things that I like really wanted to do when I first got into New York. I had like a mental bullet point of like do something physical.
Mm.
So art gallery is definitely in the works right now. So I'm shooting
That's
for that.
sick.
So every alley cat race, I'm there with a camera and I'm shooting.
So pictures
so
like
much.
this,
That's-
essentially.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And
The
were,
the most recent two are from the last race.
and were you thinking of doing like a storefront kind of gallery?
Yeah, no, I have this friend I met. He was a regular at the coffee shop I was working at, and he bought a space in Chinatown right near my apartment. And I was helping him move just because, and it ended up that it wasn't like an apartment; it was a full like gallery, and he was living there like illegally.
Whoa.
So I was like, dude, this is perfect.
I
Like
won't mention
he's like,
his name.
yeah. He was like, dude, like I'll help you out. Like if you want to throw a little gallery here, that would be rad. And
Yeah.
I was like, this is it. It just all came together. So
Dude.
I'm working on that right now. It's
Yo,
perfect.
honestly, we'll stay in touch, and I will fly over there as soon as
Oh,
the
dude,
gallery's.
that would be insane. Yeah, no, and
Bro.
messengers know how to party,
Yeah.
so it'll be a good time. No, it'll be wild.
So you're the
Damn.
first call if I ever land in New York.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
Dalton
Of
or I,
course.
for
100%.
sure, we can show
course.
you a good time.
Whoever picks up the phone first.
It's
that's the
definitely
winner.
gonna be me. Dalton is so bad with returning calls.
You know what? He's out there living his life.
He's,
You know,
yeah.
he's like me. I'm really bad at responding to shit sometimes, and I can admit that.
No, he's
Yes,
crazy
you
'cause
are.
You'll open his text app and it's like 326 unread messages.
Oh my god.
I was like, I can't. How do you live like this? Like, are you really doing life like this, man?
Okay. In his defense, though,
Yeah.
I don't know if he's in a lot of group chats or not.
I know he isn't.
He isn't. Okay,
No,
then
he would
that's
leave those
that's a
instantly.
different problem. But for me,
Dalton does not have time for group chats.
Well, think about it this way. Me and Dalton are the same age, so I kind of get that. Like over the years, dude,
Oh, no,
I have
he's
stopped using my phone
numb.
more and more.
leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
hilarious.
completely get that.
but like
Screw groups.
I got like 120 messages on my phone, and most of them are from old group chats from like 2 or 3
Right.
years ago.
No,
I
you,
haven't
you guys
opened.
should see his phone screen. It's like so shattered, and there's like green dots everywhere.
Every time he swipes
disconnected.
up, he's just
Like
a layer
chunks
of
of-
blood,
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
streak of blood.
Seriously. Just off the grid.
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. It's fine. Glass on it.
Yeah, no, living with him has been a good time. We have a good time wherever we go, but this especially, like, it's just like a playground. Like, we live together. We sleep in the same bed.
Mm.
That's like just New
Yeah.
York life, just like staying cheap. But we have a great time.
New York
That
loves.
is
So both
sick.
of you were basically living in your element.
Yeah, no, like
Yeah.
small space,
Mm.
feels like a van. Because it forces you to stay outside.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, no, we just have a blast.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the city of we're gonna make your apartment so small and shitty, you're gonna be forced to go out there.
Oh,
and
yeah, no.
perform,
It's like,
do something, you know.
Go do stuff.
Go make money.
Yeah.
What are some general rules of New York? Like,
Ooh.
like,
Ooh, yeah.
That's actually an
what should you
unspoken-
and
like,
shouldn't
what
you do?
you know how like California is just like what are some
Go to
general-
In-N-Out.
Don't
Go to
fully-
In-N-Out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
that
fully
kind of
stop at a stop sign and go to In-N-Out. Like,
Yeah.
no
California
fully stop
roller.
at a stop sign for the love of God,
Yeah.
please.
What? Oh yeah.
no,
Nobody
I can
does.
get
I
behind
know,
the
that's the
California stop.
problem.
I can get behind the California stop. It is efficient.
Yeah. California roller, dude.
Yeah.
Ah.
Definitely like go-tos, like certain recommendations or like the unspoken rules of New York.
the
Unspoken
unspoken rules, the
rules.
things that like you got to be like really in there for about a month to figure out.
You got to know just from experience of getting your ass handed to you by New York
Yeah.
on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Like what's a norm?
We
kinda?
spoke about don't honk at anybody.
Yeah, Midtown sucks. Just don't go to Midtown. Like stay
All right, noted.
Get
stay lower Manhattan if you want to see like like real like where people are living New York. Brooklyn is kind of untouched by most tourists, like deep Brooklyn,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of good stuff there. So just don't overlook Brooklyn is like a really
Gotcha.
Yeah,
key
and there has to
one.
be like a time frame to go. Like
Yeah.
you know, don't go at like midnight.
Actually, no,
No?
I can get behind like going to Brooklyn at midnight.
Okay.
I genuinely, I feel really comfortable at night. Like there have been some times where I've been like uptown, like near Harlem, where I'm like, oh, this is not safe.
Mhm.
But disproportionately, most of the time, I've felt very comfortable in New
Yeah.
York. It's been a blast.
Yeah, because here it kind of just shuts down after
Right,
like 9
yeah.
p.m. Everything just closes.
Nothing to do.
It is in New York, just like in a COVID way.
Mhm.
Businesses are having to shut down. The subways shut down.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit like that, but it's never really
Yeah.
like too scary or sketchy at night.
Okay.
Interesting.
Good to know. Good to know.
But yeah.
I was just talking to somebody who lives in New York, and she's a girl or a woman, and she says for her, like, or at least from her own experience, if you're a guy in New York, you don't really have a lot of shit to worry about. But
Yeah.
she said the amount of catcalling
Oh
and
yeah.
like other
I've seen that
shit,
video,
like,
too.
stuff like
Yeah.
that is insane. And you know, she's honest. She's not going to lie to me about stuff like that. She says she gets catcalled nearly on a daily basis.
Oh no, I believe it.
multiple times.
Yeah, it's really
And
sad.
it's fucking. Could you imagine?
Yeah, that's
No, it's
wild.
terrible.
Could you imagine if like you were walking down the street and some girl was like, "Hey, let me see that dick."
Yeah. You're
What's
just
going
gonna.
on in them pants?
Yeah. No, I feel
it's
you.
wild.
It can get uncomfortable and really annoying.
I don't know why guys think that's going to work.
Yeah, I don't know why it's.
I
still
don't
a
think
thing.
it's a matter of they think it's going to work. I just think it's something that they.
It's
Like,
just
almost
male
like an-
stupidity.
Yeah.
It's like an.
It's like good job. You have eyes.
Like it's like a form of aggression, like dominance.
I
It's
think
like really
yeah,
like
Mhm.
in a disgusting way.
I
For me, it's a
agree.
trashy way. That's all it is.
It's unbelievably trashy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like if you think she's hot, just go talk to her.
Yeah.
You don't need to let everybody on the block know that you think she's got a
Yeah.
nice ass. You know, like
Yeah.
just walk
Yeah.
up and be like, "Hey, how you doing?
She.
What you doing later?"
How you doing?
Guess who's fucking a babe with a rag on her tonight?
What?
I don't know.
We've been saying that all week.
Yeah, I've been saying that all week. It has no meaning, but you know, we all fucking.
It's
did.
funny.
It means nothing.
It means
So-
whatever you want it to mean.
So don't go to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Experience Brooklyn. Be careful in Harlem. I know they have unbelievably good food there. Though.
Oh, it's most of the messengers I know are my like close messenger friends are in Harlem. We have like a little mess house up there.
Mm.
Where like 3 messengers live, and it's great. So I go up there a lot, and it's a good time.
Big vibes.
Yeah, no, best vibes.
So this might be a stupid
Vibes.
question, but these messengers, as their job, they're literally just running shit. Back
Yeah.
And forth, right?
Usually they stay in Midtown. It's a service that they provide. It's usually envelopes or small boxes that people need in person, whether it's like signing certain forms. Like a lot of magazine companies will deliver issues to other buildings. So they're in elevators going building to building in Midtown.
That
on
is
bikes.
so sick. Can you
That's
imagine?
cool.
I am like picturing this as a fucking film,
I know.
right now.
Oh no, it's
and
yeah.
I'm just losing my mind
No,
just
it's-
hearing this.
yeah,
That's
it's
so dope.
there's like mainstream movies. What's that one?
Wasn't it Rush? What was it?
Premium Rush.
A Premium Rush. Yes.
That one is like
Yes.
that's Hollywood. There's documentaries that people have made like, called Pedal. Pedal is I think the best documentary. Or Red Light Go is another good one. I've also turned into like a huge bike messenger nerd. There's so much history to like get into, and when I find something like this, because I compare it to surfing and snowboarding a lot, like I get hyper fixated. I make it my life.
Yeah.
That was like
Mm.
how I got proficient at surfing. Was I just surfed for 6 months straight and I made it my life. Yeah, I watch this like a weekly basis.
So it's all on YouTube, by the
Yeah.
way, and it's by Mr. Fixie.
there's a hidden DVD version. It's like HD that the real ones know about. So I'm not gonna give out that one, so it doesn't
Ah.
get deleted.
Yeah.
But that,
Oh,
that's-
it's on YouTube.
Yeah,
Okay, we won't say it though. We'll keep it low key. There is
Yeah,
the
for sure.
52-minute version. Pedal parentheses 2001.
yeah. No, it's a
End parentheses.
great video if you're trying to learn about messenger life.
I'm down. I need to watch this.
You know
Um,
that young messenger life.
Yeah,
Dude, I would definitely get hit if I did this.
it's,
Because
it's
I'm
part of the learning curve.
yeah, I mean I'm a big risk taker on bikes or
Mhm.
anything mobile
Yeah.
that you go through a city with.
So you and especially you, because you would lose like the peripheral. You just focused. and
But
then
when
just-
you're hesitant, that's when you get stiff and you're going through an intersection. You're like, oh, they're gonna hit me. That's when you get hit.
Hesitation
If-
kills, dude.
Oh no, seriously.
Yeah.
If you just gun it and you trust yourself and you just become a part of the flow of traffic and you're just, as long as you're focused, I think you're well off.
Now, when you're when you're riding around on these bikes through the city, obviously focus is the key.
Yeah.
Common sense, greatly important.
On the bike, people, I feel like just throw out common sense. It's not really much common sense to do bike races in the city. There's no reason
Yeah.
to do it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just fun. And some people do it for work, but then the races happen and it's just like, this is for a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like there's a little bit of a difference between focus, and Zaid's going to disagree with me on this, and flow state.
Yeah.
Because, for example, when you're riding a bike across the country, when you're in a flow state, like you said, it was probably one of my favorite descriptions I've heard for something like that, but it's your pain bubble. And it's
Mhm.
only as far as that light can provide you. Everything else is
It
kind of out of the
doesn't
way,
exist.
and you're just looking straight ahead.
Yeah.
And it's like
No,
tunnel vision
yeah.
almost, right?
That makes a lot of sense.
But when you're doing something like this, you can't get tunnel vision, or else this fucking semi-truck is going to run right through
Right.
you. You know?
It's almost finding the flow in that, being hyper fixated on your surroundings. Because
I would love that.
Have you
Yeah.
ever
I
have you
would
ever
love to
driven
do that.
really fast down a freeway in like midday traffic?
Yeah.
So are you
that doesn't
admitting to
sound
breaking the law right
advisable.
now?
Oh, I break
We all break
laws every
laws,
day.
but anyway,
Well, define really fast.
like
yeah, let
let's
the
just
police know how
say
fast you were going.
85 while it's like, what?
I don't know.
Stop.
No, not 85. I'm saying like maybe like upper 90s, but like
Jeez.
but like
I don't
not
think my
fully.
400
How
can go
the
that
hell would you
fast.
be driving that fast with fully stopped? But like everyone's going 65, 70. You're kind of going. You're zooming past everybody, right?
Yeah, I can't afford tickets. I don't do that shit.
Depending on the time of day, like the flow of traffic is like 85
Yeah,
miles an hour.
But I would say that's a flow within itself. Sometimes there's a certain. So I remember this one specific moment in my life where I had a fast car at a time, which was a stupid idea. It was an expensive idea. Don't do it. But I was going down the freeway, mobbing, passing everybody. I felt like an asshole for a second. And then this one song came on that triggered this like weird feeling in me. And I kind of just like,
Yeah, what was
what
was the song?
dude,
if I
my
may
car
ask?
had this thing where the gas pedal would go down and then it went extra down.
oh, you feel that little click?
Yeah,
in the
that little
bottom?
click,
Yeah.
and it just right. So I just mobbed it, dude.
What was the song?
I
Do you
forgot.
remember?
I
Wow.
literally forgot what it was, but it was
Song
a
Eye of the
rock song.
Tiger.
Song brought something out of you.
It was a rock. Mr. Brightside.
Oh
That's
my
what it
god,
was.
that's hilarious.
Oh, Jesus.
Dude,
That's so funny that made you.
Dude, I was just like, it was like
that.
because the windows were open. I remember I was just super, just like, damn, this song came on. Hell yeah,
Max
Just push on it.
testosterone.
I went in between two semis, another semi, and I was just flowing. And I knew where everyone was at every time. My mirrors were in check. I knew every single car behind me, every car that was coming up. And I was like, I knew when someone was going to switch lanes, when someone was not, and if people paid attention to me or not. I knew those cars. So everything in my head was just calculating.
Yeah,
And
no,
it
very-
literally lasted maybe less than a minute, but
Mm.
it was a flow. And I was like,
Yeah,
okay, cool. Now we're on the other part of the song. But
Mr. Brightside though. That's
yeah, it was weird. For something about those first chords.
yeah. No, how can you get just jamming out
Yeah.
to that? But yeah, no, it's cool because as a cyclist, you feel like a small fish
Yeah.
in like a river of big fish, and you're just in and out, and you get a flow. And I've done rides where I'm mostly just like really heavy commutes. Like sometimes I just get on the bike and I'm like, I want to go hard right now. Like it's just something that you need to get out
Mhm.
because it's very expressive because it's so much decision making.
Yeah.
So it's very artistic in that sense of like it's all up to you. So yeah, no, I've had some really gnarly experiences of just bombing down Second Avenue.
You have to get into flow, or else you have a high likelihood of dying.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Especially
yeah.
during races because these
Yeah.
people are just like it's a different speed. Alley Cat speed is just
So
something else.
how many people at one time go for races?
It's getting really popular now. I'd say like bigger races will have like 50 to 70 people.
Damn.
Smaller ones will have like maybe 30.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, they're starting to pop off right now. So the basics behind Alley Cat races are they're illegal bike races that bike messengers hold as like approving to
Mhm.
like they want to see who's the fastest.
Hmm.
There's certain annual races that people do and then there's some that just get thrown. There's organizers that do them, and some people, the annual ones, someone will like step up and take it. Like, okay, I'm planning this race. Usually, the most popular one is like Halloween. So the start of the race, usually it's some of the rules change sometimes, but most of the time it goes down. All the cyclists start off their bikes, with their bikes either on the ground or locked up, and they'll stand in a group of people in like a big pool. The race organizer will stand in between them and their bikes. I've seen them start like a quarter of a mile away from their bikes, and they're running to their bikes.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Le Mans.
And
Yeah, seriously.
and during that time when they're off their bikes, these little pieces of paper called manifests with usually like 10 to 15 addresses called checkpoints are placed on their bike. So these people are running to their bikes not knowing where they're going to go. So they get the piece of paper, they look at it, they're already on their bike, they're riding the bike, looking at the piece of paper, saying, okay, I need to go uptown, I need to go to this park, and I finish at the Hare Krishna tree at Tompkins. And then, so they ride there, they go into traffic, there's no rules, you can hang on to cars, and you just, most of the checkpoints you can do in order, or most of the races you can do in order, any checkpoints. So you're doing route setting as well, like you're figuring out which line you're going to take,
Yeah.
and people take it pretty seriously now.
It seems like something that I would even take seriously.
Oh, yeah, no,
Like,
it's
sounds
a
like
good time.
lot of fun.
It does sound like a lot of fun, and it sounds like something that, like, if I lost, bro, I would actually punch 4 holes in my wall. Like,
Oh yeah, no, it's very serious, and like
I don't care about many things, but I realize that I do care about racing for some
Oh, it's
reason.
Racing's
fun.
fun, dude.
Yeah.
Do you get a specific like reward? for winning?
usually the winners will get a messenger bag, which those run for like $200.
Okay.
So they get sponsors to do it, like Manhattan Portage is a really big sponsor, Murr bags. Yeah, no, so the winner will usually get a messenger bag and like other like stuff, or the OG Alley Cats, because these have been going on since like the 90s.
Mhm.
They would just all the cash goes to the winner, and now it's the ones that are all cash, because it's money to get in, to split it male and female, fixed gear.
Oh.
Yeah,
Hmm. Most importantly, you get clout.
right. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's all for clout,
Yeah.
honestly.
Bragging.
Clout
rights.
chaser.
Seriously, yeah, and it's funny because there's different. Like riding a fixed gear bicycle in New York is kind of a subgenre of itself, and of that there are subgenres. There's people that just do alley cats, and that's their thing, and then
Mm.
there's people that do bike messenger work, and that's their day
Yeah.
in and day out. That's what they do on the bike, and they all get together and like congregate at bike races or just meetups or anything. So it's honestly a really interesting community of people. I've met a lot of people just doing various stuff, and this is really something special. So as a photographer, when I see that, I like latch right on.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it's been a blast, like documenting. This is the most fun I've had with a camera. Just I've let go of what I learned as a photographer. And now I'm just running around taking photos of basically my friends. And it's really comparable to, honestly, conflict photography is something I've really been inspired by. That's like honestly what got me into photography, was like the early like Vietnam War photographers,
Mhm.
and just that aesthetic of doing, like, it's bigger than you, the
Yeah.
photography.
Yeah. It's capturing the rut and it's all of its realness.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, that was kind of what inspired me. So I took that feeling and kind of applied it to Bike Messenger, just the whole community. So it's been,
That's sick. I feel like that's
Yeah.
equivalent to like LA's like Nightcrawler stuff,
oh
where
yeah,
people are just going at like fires, accidents, things like that. And
right. It's very similar
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah. I can see that. There was a whole documentary on that too.
Mhm. Yeah.
Have you consideed working for Vice?
I would see. I would love to do something like that. That would be perfect.
Make a reel about alley cat shit.
Literally,
Yeah.
dude, you're
Great
off to
way
a
to get in.
great start.
Yeah,
by the way.
seriously.
Yeah. No, there's people that have made a lot of money documenting Bike Messenger
Yeah.
stuff, just because it's like there's been like news articles done about it, because it's just interesting. It's really
Yeah.
weird.
Seriously, guys, you got to follow Blake Weeks. I'll post his Instagram everywhere.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking it's worth following.
Yeah, it's definitely
Ba, ba, ba,
unique
ba,
in
ba,
its
ba.
own respect.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very interesting. do I call it a sport? Well, obviously you're riding a bike, but like
It's not really
style
it's,
of racing.
I
They're
don't
like-
know. It's not conventional by any means.
It's more like a high risk joyride.
Yeah.
I feel like-
Is it lame to say it's like a lifestyle?
It's a lifestyle.
No, it's
No,
a
no,
lifestyle.
no, that's
yeah.
not lame. It's accurate. But
It's
the
accurate.
reason I'm trying to say, like, well, the reason it does well in the news and stuff is because, in a sense, it's kind of like a death race.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, there's no rules. Hold on to the handles, dart in front of cars, run the reds, do whatever the hell you got to do to get to that point as quickly as you possibly can.
Holding on to a
And so in that
helicopter,
sense,
boy.
that could include you getting hit by a car. That could include you running into a pedestrian. Some crazy shit. I'm just saying things, right? My point is there's stakes. And yeah, of course it's fascinating as hell. Like it looks like a little video game, like especially when you have the POV shots when the guy's on the bike with the GoPro on his
Right.
chest. It just looks like so much fun.
Yeah.
Like almost like everything was exactly laid out for him to do that route, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what draws the eyes.
And
Right.
It has stakes,
yeah,
it's physical.
Wagyu
And
steaks.
you know what? It's essentially just it's
Traegers and steaks, boy.
I had to, bro.
it's an American death race version of
Tron.
the Tour de France, which we're seeing
Tour
there,
de
right? Bring back the gold for
Except
America.
they're not
baby.
all on steroids.
Wait, I thought they bailed. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
Yeah, in one of the news articles that's on YouTube about Alley Cats, they called it a punk rock Tour de France, and I was like,
Really?
that kind of
Damn.
sounds rad, and it makes sense.
I can see that.
Tour
Yeah,
de
no,
France.
it's
I feel like death
something.
race is an exaggeration, but I mean, like, there's a lot of stakes going on.
Oh no, and you feel it when you get to the beginning of these races. There's like you can feel the tenseness. People are excited and like running towards their bikes, and I'm running with them with a camera.
Yeah.
It's like flashing and like love using the flash. Yeah, no, it's just very intense.
Is there anything else you'd like to touch on?
Actually,
Anything you want to speak on
you want to shout out
specifically?
some of these Alley Cat guys? If you think
Yeah,
there's
you can
some
give
want to do that?
shout-outs
Go
if
ahead,
you want.
man. This is your-
First off, shout out to Nate, California homie. He's stoked about the podcast.
Shout out to Nate.
Shout out to
Shout out
Nate.
to
boy.
Nate.
Big Nate.
Thank you for tuning in.
Honestly, yeah, no, I was a super big fan of 2 a.m. on the trip.
Hey,
that was a
man.
really funny thing because I listened, like the second half of the trip, I was just so in need of conversation.
Aw.
That I would just put on the podcast and
That's
like talk to
fucking
myself.
lit,
That's
dude.
fucking
And
down,
Dalton
dude.
would like turn around and be like, dude, what the fuck? Who are you talking to? I'm just like, I'm talking to Zayd, man. And like, and like I would
Just let me have my fantasy.
no, I would start like laughing or something, and he'd be like, "What?" And I was like, "Dude, it's a podcast." And you guys know he didn't listen to music or anything. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he gave me a lot of shit for listening to music because that was
The guy's a
I
masochist
love
for
music.
sure.
I was about
Mhm.
to say he did give you shit on the pod.
Oh,
He's like,
no,
yeah,
he
he had his
definitely-
ear.
yeah,
He's
I get you.
hard.
I get you.
Yeah, no,
There
whatever.
are some Goggin meatheads out there.
I
dude.
was vibing the whole time.
No, we
Um,
thank you for the love.
Yeah,
man.
dude.
Yeah, man,
that
we
actually warms
appreciate
my
it.
heart, man.
I'm glad. No, it was really nice to have you all come along with me.
Hey, man. You know what?
Glad we could be there.
We love
Sure.
you. We love you. That's
Exactly why
Yeah.
we do it, honestly.
It's perfect.
For people riding across the country on bikes.
Yes,
It's
sir.
the only reason we started the 2 a.m. pod. Bikes only have 2 wheels, bro.
That's
That's the
what-
link.
That's the connection.
The French connection. No.
it. Yes, sir.
You want to shout out any of these guys though?
Um,
Alley Cat gentlemen.
Yeah.
Leave them where it is.
Shout out to Track or Die.
Track or
That's
Die?
Track or Die is one of the big race organizers. They're putting together most of the races. They do some really cool stuff. Terry B is a really good content creator.
Mhm.
That does Alley Cat stuff. I feel like if you want to learn about any of that, that's like the go-to for content. Just amazing videos.
By the way,
yeah,
that is Terry. Is that Barnston?
Berenston. Yeah,
Berenston. Barentsen.
some
YouTube.
super cool videos. He does these things called hotlines, where he'll follow people that ride around their bikes, and you get like a really cool POV,
Mm.
and it's like the closest that you can get. I have a projector going at one of the coffee shops I work at, and I just have these highlight reels of bike footage.
That
And
is
it's just
so
like-
New
Man,
York.
that is
So
sick.
rad.
That is so sick.
Yeah, no, it's a good time.
Give a shout out to your socials as well.
Yeah.
We'll include a link
Yeah,
if
hype
you
Yeah.
want.
yourself
Yeah,
up.
We'll
on
include the link for everything.
Instagram, just Blake Weeks with 3 S's. That's basically it. I'm going really Gen Z with the social media. I don't
Yeah.
use too much else.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
We love
Listen,
it.
man, I'm fucking impressed by you.
Literally, dude.
19
You are
years old?
19 years old.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
That is, you know what? Leaves more room for people to think. But, well, you heard it here first, right?
Right.
As always.
2 a.m.
All right.
podcast.
Breaking
Blake
news.
Weeks, everyone. Y'all, we are on YouTube, so subscribe, like, and comment. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, if you may, please. Yes, 5 stars or nothing.
Do it.
Yep. Anyway, we will catch you next time. Please, lovely people, have a great night.
We love you.
We love you.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
1, 2.
Oh no, I can't snap.
2, 3, 4.
I say peace.
Can I get
a little peace?
Hare Krishna
I
tree.
said an elemental peace.
All right, how'd I do, boys?
Salt.